When you're getting started with Docker, it is important to understand exactly what is a Docker file. You will work with Docker files in every project you work with, regardless of the operating system you're using in your image. If you want to follow along with the demos in this video, you will need the food trucks repo from the Docker community repos. You can find it on their GitHub, and there's a link to this repo in the description. A Docker file is similar to a batch script that contains all of the commands to build a Docker image. The first line states the base image to begin with, and then follow the instructions to install the required modules, copy files, and deploy the code, which results in a working environment. Every Docker file must start with the from instruction. This tells Docker what base image to use as you build your final image. In this case, we're using the Ubuntu Standard OS image. You can find images for many different operating systems and development environments for any technology that you're using. The label instruction adds metadata to an image. A label is a key value pair. You can add multiple labels to a Docker file to include any custom information that you want. In this example, we're creating a key named maintainer and setting it equal to the text on the right. Labels are visible when you use a Docker inspect command to view low-level information on Docker objects, which is helpful to keep your projects organized. The run instruction will execute any commands in a new layer on top of the current image and then commit the results. The resulting committed image will be used for the next step in the Docker file. All instructions are executed in order, so you have to be careful to add your run instructions in the exact order that they should be run. In this example, we're installing the required system-wide dependencies for Python and Node, as these are needed to run the food truck's website. The add instruction copies new files, directories, or remote file URLs from the source listed on the left and adds them to the file system of the image at the destination path listed on the right. The destination path is located inside the image that is being built by the Docker file. You can find the destination path by commenting out all subsequent instructions. Here's a pro tip. The shortcut for commenting is Control-K-C. You're welcome. Open a terminal and execute the command docker compose up, and then inspect the file system of your container to find the destination file path. You can even save this image as a reference to use for later if you want. To save an image from a running container, get the container ID by typing docker ps. Then run a docker commit command using the container ID, and then a custom image name and version. That's it. You can run the Docker images command to confirm that your new image has been created. The workdir instruction sets the working directory for any run, command, entry point, copy, and add instructions that follow it in the Docker file. In this example, the node package manager commands are run in the working directory that has already been defined. The expose instruction informs Docker that the container listens on the specified network ports at runtime. Expose does not make the ports of the container accessible to the host. And finally, we have the command instruction. There can only be one command instruction in a Docker file. If you list more than one command, then only the last command will take effect. The main purpose of a command is to provide defaults for an executing container. In this example, we're running the app script for the website located in the root of the working directory and naming the app Python 3. That's it. Stop your running container by executing the docker compose down command. Go back to the Docker file and uncomment everything using the shortcut Ctrl-K-U. Save your work and execute Docker Compose up. Open a browser and navigate to localhost on port 5000. You should see the food truck's website. If you're struggling with Docker errors, check out my Pluralsight course, Tactics and Tools for Troubleshooting Docker. This course provides developers with the skills they need to troubleshoot and fix the most common Docker errors. By the end of this course, you will have the skills that you need to reduce the time it takes you to assess and fix issues. Visit hoffstech.com/troubleshooting-docker to get started with a free trial today. What questions do you have about Docker? Let me know in the comments, and please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.